All right, friends, this is Mrs. Rademacher Smith again, ready for week 2, day 2 of morning work. Remember, when I copied these and I put them into your binders, they might be in a different order, and that's okay. You can go to the page that has our sight word of here on it, or you can find the video that has the sight word that matches, or I'm sorry, you can go to the video that matches your sight word. But I'm going to go ahead and do this one because it's supposed to be number 6 is the key on the bottom. Today is going to be Tuesday, Tuesday. I like to practice that. And I'm going to cross off August because it is now September. And believe it or not, September used to be the 7th month of the year because sept means 7, that prefix sept. But when they redid the calendar many hundreds of years ago, they added a few months, so September got bumped to the 9th month instead of the 7th month like it used to be. This is the first day of September, and we're still in the year 2020. All right, let's go to our sight word. It says to say it, ear, ear. Now I'm going to trace it, H-E-R-E, and I'm going to write it H-E-R-E. And now I need to use it in a sentence. Remember, your sentence might be different than mine. Here, in this case, is not the sounds you hear, but the place. So, I used a command yesterday, or for day 1, for the word turn, and I'm going to use a command today too. Put the box here. And that is telling somebody where to put the box. And so I start with a capital letter and I end with a period. And your sentence should start with a capital and end with the right end mark. Maybe you have a question. Can I put this box here? That would need a question mark, not a period. Go ahead and pause if you need to right now, but I'm going to move on to our fix-it, and I'm going to start with my reminder letters, CPRSN. That stands for capitalization, punctuation, right order, spelling, and neatness. So let's read our sentence first. It says, I want to eat at Subway. Ooh, my tummy's a little hungry as I'm reading this. Well, first, I know I need to look for capitals. The letter I needs to be capitalized for 2 reasons. First of all, you're talking about yourself. You are important. So when we say I as meaning yourself, you need to capitalize it. It's also the first letter in the beginning of the sentence, so we should capitalize it then. Now, we have another capital letter in this sentence because we're talking about a name. The name of a place we're talking about is a proper noun, and we are talking about, you're right, Subway. We're not talking about the sandwich store, which could be any place. We're not talking about, we're talking specifically about Subway, so we need to capitalize it. It's a special name. Next, we need to look at our punctuation. Let's think about what type of sentence this is. Is it a telling statement or a declarative? That gives it a period. Is it a question? That would give it a question mark. Or is it exciting? That would mean we need an exclamation point. I want to eat at Subway. That is a telling or declarative sentence, so we end it with a period. I'm also looking at my sentence now for any contractions, 2 words smashed together and letters fall out. I don't see any of those. I don't see any lists, so we're pretty good with the just the end mark as our punctuation. Let's listen to make sure the sentence sounds right. Are the words in the right order? I want to eat at Subway. Yay, that one sounds good. But there is a spelling mistake. One of those words does not look right. That's right. Eat is spelled E-A-T. So I use that little swirly mark to get rid of my extra E, and I put an A in there. That's the only spelling mistake I see. Now I'm going to rewrite it nice and neatly. I'm going to use spaces between my letters. Between my words. I want to eat at, now remember, Subway is a proper noun. It's a fancy word. It's not anywhere. It's Subway, so I capitalize it. I want to eat at Subway, period. If you need to pause the video, now is a good time to do it because I'm going to move on. Okay, we're going to write a noun on the line. A noun is usually a person, place, or thing. So the what was flying in the sky? Well, would it make sense to say that the sock was flying in the sky? Probably not. What are some things that could fly in the sky? I'm going to think about a few. The first, I wish you guys were with me. The first would be a bird. Next, you could have an airplane. What else flies in the sky? Those are the first two I think of off the top of my head. So either of those would work. Maybe you've got something different, but make sure it flies in the sky. Now at my house, maybe you thought a ball was flying in the sky. Somebody tossed a ball. They do like to throw socks at my house, but that should not be the way we answer that. Next, we're going to show 3 different ways to divide our shape in half. Okay, well, I want the parts to be even, so one way I could do this would be straight up and down. I could go, side to side. Or maybe I want to go corner to corner. Those are all 3 different ways to divide our squares in half. Okay, we're going to do 14 plus 5. So I'm drawing 5 little dots, and I'm going to count on from 14. That's a big number. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Now, I hope you got out those number grids I gave you, and you got those handy in your little home office so that you can keep those. Those are a good tool for right now. Well, once again, I'm adding 5 plus 9, but in addition, the order doesn't matter. And I'm going to start at 9, the big number, and count on 5. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Notice I do say that first number. Well, this time I'm taking away, so I'm going to count backwards, but I'm still going to draw 5 little dots. I'm going to start at 12, and I'm going to go backwards. Listen, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. I really need you to listen carefully when I count backwards because I have been known to make a mistake. It's tricky counting backwards. We're going to start at 10, and we're going to take away 5 this time. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. That makes me think of a rocket launch. The rocket was flying in the sky. I'm going to go back there, add that in there, because that sounds like a countdown. All right, our next skill is going to be to count by 5s. So we're going to count on, but they give us the first number. We can't just start at 0 and do 5, 10, 15, 20. We have to start at 65. So I'm going to back up a little bit here. I'm going to start at 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85. And I remember when I was a little girl, my dad used to teach me counting by fives as a song. He'd go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, and he put the emphasis on the tens. And even as a grown-up, many, many, many years later, I can still hear my dad singing that song. He would say 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85. All right, just like our Fix-It, where we use CPRSN to remind us of capitalization, punctuation, right order, spelling, and neatness in our Fix-It, when we have a word problem, we start with RUTAC. RUTAC. Tell me what it means to me. Read, underline, think, attack, check, RUTAC. Kind of do a little cheer to help me remember that. Use your finger to touch as I read. It rained for 4 hours on Wednesday and 8 hours on Thursday. How much longer did it rain on Thursday? Draw a picture and write a number sentence. So I'm going to move on from reading to underlining. The first thing I'm going to underline is the question. So I look for that question mark and it says, how much longer did it rain on Thursday? Now, usually in the question, there's a key word. And in this case, that key word is longer. Means one is more than the other. And we want to know not just which one is more, but how much more. So that's usually a subtraction problem. The last thing I do after I underline and I find my key word is I circle numbers. Numbers are usually pretty easy to find, and I like to put the units with them. In this case, 4 hours and 8 hours. Now there's a tricky word in here. Let me see if I can find my red pen for a second. Maybe. Can I go to my pens? It looks like this had some kind of update. And I'm going to show you because this is really a big deal. Where this word and can be kind of tricky. And that's because it usually means we're adding. So kids will see that and they say 4 hours on Wednesday, 8 hours on Thursday, and they say, oh, 4 plus 8 equals 12. That is a trick for you. They're trying to catch you. Go back to my view. We know that on Wednesday, we have 4 hours. So I'm going to draw, hours are on a clock, clocks are round, 3, 4. I will draw 4 for Wednesday, and I'll draw 8 for Thursday. And I'm going to draw them right underneath in a line, nice and neatly. Now, I can see right away that Thursday is definitely longer, but we don't want to know which one is longer. We want to know how much longer. So we're going to take our Thursday, which is 8 hours, and we're going to take away all of the ones on Wednesday that match it. So this one has a pair, this one has a pair, this one has a match, this one has a match, and we're left with these hours that don't have a match. So we've attacked the problem. We've taken away the ones that match, or the 4 for Wednesday. So I say Thursday. So I say 8 take away 4 is 1, 2, 3, 4. And that gives me 4. Well, does that answer make sense? Yes, it rained 4 hours longer. If you turn your paper to the side, you'll see it almost looks like a graph, and we can see how much taller Thursday would be. So that answer makes sense. And that is our morning work for today. I hope your brain is nice and warmed up, ready to do a few more different activities. Have a great day.